Hi, I'm Bernard Miller. This is a new feature of the Conscious Party called the Teacher Parent Conference. Now, I've worked at some challenging schools, I'll say. One of the problems that would occur is the students who are off task, either behaviorally or academically, you could never catch up to their parents. For parent-teacher conference, you could barely catch up to them over the phone. So, this is going to be a one-way conversation. This is the teacher addressing the parents who need a little bit of help, and also view this as a reaffirmation for those parents who do keep their children on task academically.
All right, so for this episode of the Conscious Party, the Parent-Teacher Conference, I'm going to tell the story of Tony Cherry. The story of Tony Cherry goes back to, let me see, I guess about 1965 when I started first grade. Me and Tony Cherry, we were in the same class together. We started out together. As the years went by, I'd run into Tony. Tony in my life was a lot different. Tony was living in them streets. You know, I'd visit the streets. All right. So last time I saw Tony, I think the two of us might have been like under 30. And Tony was telling me how he'd been shot for the 5th time. Now, once again, Tony's out there in the streets. Tony's out there juggling, doing stuff. Now me, like I said, I had dirt under my nails, but you know, I did go to college and was on that track. So let's back up here. When I was 4 years old, my mother taught me how to read. All right, so when I went to preschool, Get Set, whatever it was called back then, I knew how to read. All right, knew my ABCs, all this good stuff, and you know, I guess I was up to, let's say, the 3rd primer. You know, Dick and Jane, C-Spot Run. You know, I think I was up on Cherry Street before I even got to school. Now, the reason that I talk about Tony Cherry is because we're the same age, and parents kind of give small children conflicting messages that you kind of have to sort out for yourself. So one of the messages that my mother always gave me was, say hi to people when they say hi to you. So, hey, I say hi to you. Now, the conflicting message was, she said, don't talk to strangers. So this meant, like, when I was about 4 years old, if I was sitting out on the steps and an adult came by and said hi, I'm going to say hi. However, if you try to get into a deeper conversation than that, then I'm going to shut down because, number one, I don't know you. Therefore, you're a stranger. All right? So, one of the things that happened before I started first grade is they sat me in a room with a white guy, and his race only had something to do with it, only in the sense that, you know, I was not really that familiar with white people. All right. Now, what he did was he spent 10 minutes with me evaluating me for school to decide what class I was going to go into. So, think about the messages that I received. Okay, so I said hi. I was cordial. Dude started asking me a whole bunch of questions. I don't know, dude. So I shut down, all right, because he was a stranger. So based on his 10-minute evaluation, he decided that yours truly was a slow learner. And so me and Tony Cherry, we ended up in the same special ed class. This is like 1965, all right. Now, the blessing was, as soon as you did your work, the teacher said, hey, you can go play with toys in the back. So after a week, the teacher noticed, like, Bernard's finished all the time first. So they moved me out of the class. But the message for the parents here is, do not let your child's future be dictated by someone who doesn't know them based on a 10-minute observation. Okay, so I have no idea how many other people this may have happened to. And as I said, culturally, we teach our children 2 messages when they're small. Say hi, and also don't talk to strangers. So a child has to navigate that. So my point being, once again, Look out for your children. Take responsibility for your child's education. Do not let your child get put on the slow track or maybe even the death track. All right? Why? Because someone who didn't know your child or understand your child decided that your child was not capable. All right, I'm out.
Yes. Yeah, he's doing a lot better. Okay. I'm glad we've addressed those issues and, things are looking a lot better. Hey, thanks for watching the Teacher Parent Conference. Remember, teachers only get to work with what the parents send them as far as students are concerned. So, if you are keeping your child on the correct academic path, thanks. You're the real MVP. Give yourself a pat on the back. And if your child is struggling, hopefully some of these ideas will help you. All right, you gotta call another house.
Oh man, what's going on? It's Mitchell Chance, the voice of revolution. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Conscious Party Show, and I hope it expound your mind.